What's up, everybody? My name is Chastin J. Miles, and I am a real estate agent here in Dallas, Texas. And a lot of people ask me how I got started in real estate. So I thought that I would just take a moment to make a video about me getting started in real estate. I know there are a lot of people out there thinking about getting in real estate, or you want to become a real estate agent. I'm hoping if I share my story and how I got it all done, then maybe it can help you out. On my channel here, I like to create real estate videos to help other people who are getting in real estate and thinking about real estate, to help you out in your business, just from my experiences and what I've learned in this business. So if that's something that you like, or you're going to be going down that road, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And do me a favor for this video, click that thumbs up button. It really helps me out with the algorithms. And yeah, let me just go ahead and get into it. I did not actually grow up with a real estate background. I didn't have this dream of getting in real estate. I was in college at the time, and I was low on money, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And me and some of my buddies, we were actually looking for a property to move off campus in. So we didn't want to live on campus anymore. We were doing the most on campus, and it just wasn't a good look anymore. So one day we were walking around and we saw this sign, and it was advertising 3 to 4 bedroom homes off campus. So what we did was, I called the number. This lady said, meet me at my office. So I'm going to show you properties, all that kind of stuff. It didn't really sound sketchy. We were just excited about it and we wanted to do it. So we rolled up to her office. It turns out it was a real estate office. So she's showing us properties and she's like, you want to go see some? And of course we were like, yeah, we want to go see the properties. So we went out, we got in her car. Her car smelled like cigarettes. It was kind of crazy, but she warned us that her car was gonna smell like cigarettes because she was an older lady, and so she probably just rolling, smoking all the time. But that's none of my business. So we got in the car, we went and saw the houses, and then we got back to the office because she wanted to explain how the process worked and paperwork and all that kind of stuff. So during this process of her explaining it, she never brought up how much that we would have to pay for her. We didn't really know, and I was starting to be like, all right, this is about to get expensive and we don't have any money. So finally I asked her, hey, how much is this going to cost us? And she was like, this isn't going to cost you anything. So I was to the point where I was like, that don't sound right. It doesn't make any sense. And then she explained that her fee would be paid for by the actual landlord. So her role as a real estate agent we didn't have to pay her. And when she said that, my brain got moving. I was like, wait a minute. So all you do is post signs up. People call you, you show them properties, and you get paid when they end up leasing it. And she said, yeah, basically that. I do a lot more, but basically that. So at that point, I was intrigued. I was like, well, I'm on the college campus. I be throwing these parties. People know me. I got great friends and stuff like that. I said, I can do this. So I asked her, how can I get started and become a real estate agent? She said, well, you got to take classes, and then you got to pass your real estate license exam. And after that, you'll join a brokerage and you can become a real estate agent. I said, sounds simple enough. So at this real estate office, they actually had a school there. This was in Georgia. This was in Woodstock, Georgia. No, it wasn't in Woodstock. Yeah, it was in Woodstock, Georgia. They actually have a school at that real estate office. So she introduced me to the person who was over the classes and everything like that. And he broke it down how much it was going to cost. And I didn't have the money for that. So I ended up talking him into letting me get on a payment plan. So he let me get on this payment plan to start my real estate classes. So I show up. It was in this classroom. There wasn't a lot of us in there. They were all older than I was, but I was sitting at the front of the class. I was ready to do it. Since I was in school already, I kind of knew how to study, and the information, it was making sense to me. It wasn't that bad or anything. So I did probably around two weeks of that class, and they gave us quizzes and things like that, and I was acing them. I was moving through it. Did another 2 weeks, I was moving through it, and then it was time for me to make my next payment. Well, I didn't have the money to make my next payment. I had already spent my student loan money on other stuff that I shouldn't have been spending it on, and so I really didn't have that money, and so I had to drop out of the real estate school. And I'll never forget the day that I was dropping out of the school. I told the man, I said, look, I'm going to save up some money and then I'm going to come back. And he was like,
No, I hear that all the time. You're not going to come back, so good luck with your life.
I was like, man, this, I said some stuff. I don't know. It kind of sparked something in me. I didn't end up going back to real estate school until 2 years later, and I had moved to Texas at that point. I have a whole video on why I ended up moving to Texas. I'll link that up in the cards so you can figure out what was going on in my life at that time. But I ended up moving to Texas. Once I got here, I enrolled in real estate school online this time. So it wasn't in person because the online was cheaper. So I enrolled in real estate school online, and I basically started knocking them out. I mean, I was on that computer. I ended up knocking out my courses in less than a month, because online you can go as fast as you want with it. Well, at the time you can go as fast as you want. You can knock it out. I was just knocking it out. The hardest part about the online courses, though, it was the quizzes. So after you finish a section and stuff, you got to take a quiz over everything that you learned, and I was going through that stuff kind of quickly, and so the quizzes was messing me up. But then I finished all the courses, finished all the quizzes, and at the end of it, you had to take a final exam. This is before I even took the state exam. I had to take the final exam. This was through the computer. That thing kind of messed me up a little bit because I kept failing it. And so if you fail it a certain amount of times, you got to go back through the course. And so I redid the course again. Mind you, all this was in a month. Like I was on it real quick. Ended up passing the final exam. Now I can schedule the actual state exam. So even though I did the final exam with the school, they have to release your certificates to the state to say that, hey, this person has completed all of their required real estate courses. So once they did that, I registered for my actual state exam. So the day of my exam, I had to drive across town to this place, and it was a testing center. So it was a testing center. You had to let them know you was there. They pull up your information, your certificates, all that kind of stuff. And then you sit down and wait for them to let you go into the actual testing room. So once it was my time to go in the testing room, there was people there taking tests for different things, but it was set up like they had a computer in front of you, and then they had these two like walls kind of between you and the next person. They were watching you the whole time, like monitoring you. Your whole test is timed. Let me just tell you, I knew in my mind that I had failed that test. That test was hard. It was very difficult for me. It got to a certain point where I was just clicking answers that just sounded right. And then it said, you're all done. It didn't tell me what my score was once I finished, but it just said that you're done. You got to go back outside, and then they tell you your score out there. Y'all, I finished quicker than most people in there. I knew I had failed, and I walked out of there. I was like, well, I know I got to take it again. I got out there. The lady said, let me print out your results. She printed out the results, gave it to me. It said pass. I passed by 1 point. Literally 1 point. So I think you had to get a 74 or 75, and I got a 76 on it. So I passed by 1 point. At that point, I was a licensed real estate agent. I just had to wait for them to issue me my license. The hard part of it was done. It literally took me going to 2 different real estate schools, dropping out, payment plans, going back in, all that kind of stuff, saving up money to finally get my real estate license. So that's how I became licensed. That was I started this back in 2011, went back 2013, passed my test, got my license, and I've been licensed ever since. So that was my journey. If you're a licensed real estate agent, let me know if you passed your test on the first try. Again, please give me a thumbs up on this video. Not many people know this story, so I really kind of just gave it out there, gave it, how it actually happened. Give me a thumbs up for that. I appreciate it. Subscribe to my channel. I'll be telling more stories and sharing different parts of my journey as well, in hopes of them helping you out in your real estate journey. I'm Chastin J. Miles here in Dallas, Texas. If you got anybody looking for real estate here in Dallas, please send them my way. I definitely appreciate it, and I'll talk to you soon.